Hi Leo, my ascendant brothers and sisters. Welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant signs. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Leo, it's for you. But remember, they're general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody. That is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week, and just a little note to say, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you, and if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates and you want some of that Rafi love, hit the subscribe button. So for your key to the week this week, you have the Fool card. You have a great reset taking place for you in some way, shape or form. Remember, the Fool card is not a reset. The Fool card is a reboot, right? Whenever this card shows up, it means that we are being set on a brand new path. We're all having this at this moment in time because we've got the eclipse taking place at this moment. And also, it's worth noting that with the Fool card, this is kind of like the universe's way of saying, yes, it might be scary. Yes, maybe you're having to go in new directions or new ways, but I'm giving you a gentle nudge to say you're going to be okay. There is a lot of optimism and joy in this card. And there is also kind of like a fuck it and see. Right, I think I'm just past the 90-second mark, so maybe I got away with that, but I might get penalized by YouTube later, who knows. Anyway, in all of these different areas of life, there's some sort of reboot taking place. There's some kind of fresh start, which could be a really good thing if we allow it to be. For your actions and options, you've got the 8 of Wands. So the 8 of Wands tends to be things like teaching, mentoring, and it's a lot of communication. This is a very fast card, and it tends to show up when there's a lot of information flowing backwards and forwards. So if that is the case, obviously Mercury is retrograde at the moment, so you know, it's not, I'm not saying take it all with a pinch of salt. What I am saying is just make sure that you have, you know, your wits about you with what you're taking on board as gospel. Don't be a fool, but do be adventurous and be the fool. All right, like there's a difference. The Fool card with the 8 of Wands as well. This is new communication, new information that's coming in at a distance. There's a lot of information, phone calls, text messages, emails, everything going backwards and forth at this moment in time. And you know, this could be a good thing. It's a very stimulating time for you mentally and in terms of actions and adventure. And then when it comes to the options that are available to you, this could literally center around teaching, mentoring, coaching, or maybe interacting with somebody who chooses to be those things for you. When it comes to your communications and conversations, you've got the 4 of Pentacles. Love this. So usually this card shows up when somebody's saving to purchase something. Like I see this a lot when people are saving a deposit to buy a house. I see this a lot when people are, you know, getting their money together so they can buy a car or, you know, a rental property or whatever the case might be. Because it falls in your communications and conversations, you're sticking to your guns on something here, which, you know, you're a fixed sign, so it makes a lot of sense. But there's something here that you're holding very rigidly to at this moment. And I kind of, with the fact that there's a lot of new information coming in, that you've also got the Fool card, you might need to look at where you're being too stubborn or overly fixed at this time. All right, it's just something to consider. Now, when it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this with the 8 of Wands, it's like new information, new knowledge is coming in, and it flies in the face of what you already know and believe to be true. The message here with the Fool card is to lean into the new way of doing things, right? If you hold on to the old, there's a saying that I once heard and I was like, oh my gosh, like that's such a good one. And it's, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you always got, right? And this week, this really does apply to you in a massive, massive way. So let the Fool card allow you to make some change, some much needed change within the scope of your studies, your career, your general outlook, life and vocation, right? It's coming whether you like it or not, especially with that Jupiter-Uranus conjunction that's ramping up. So stay tuned. Right, for those of you that are employed by somebody else, I like this for sticking to the I was promised a raise or a promotion within the next 6 months if I performed. I've performed, so now it's time for you to, to ante up, right? You've got to pony up. It's your turn. I upheld my end of the bargain. For a lot of you, though, I do wonder if this is where you'll need to start looking for alternative employment, or where maybe you will start to say, okay, you know what, I think I'm going to go where I'm valued, or potentially for some of you, where the money is. When it comes to those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, there's almost a feel to this where it's like, you know that something about your business model needs to change, but it's like you're not ready to do it just at the moment. That's because there's a lot of stuff roiling underneath the surface or going on behind the scenes, and that's a good thing, right? There are changes happening, but I think a lot of it is internal or behind the scenes at the moment, and maybe there's a frustration that you're not seeing the results or the rewards from it tangibly. You will in time, right? When we come into Taurus season, I think you will start to see those results and measures that you're looking for. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, this might actually be a lot of you are either thinking about purchasing some form of land, maybe some form of second or holiday home, or potentially some of you are looking to extend and expand the home that you have. That's all very possible as well. When it comes to, sorry, I've just had a thought of something that I think I'm meant to do. It's like I just had a mini download to say, oi, we want you to do this. And I'm like, really? Now? At this moment in time? Like, yeah, okay, cool. I'll get to that. Yeah, if you are retired and no longer working for any reason, I think this is about the skills that you have, but also, excuse me, for a lot of you, I think this might be where you decide to go back to school, where you say, you know what, regardless of what my age is or what my skill set or my skill level is, I'm actually ready to take some sort of learning or study on in a new way, but also take it to a whole other level. So love that. For your love and relations, you've got the 9 of Wands. There's an admittance here about your vulnerability. So you could be having a conversation with a partner, a significant other, to say, look, you know what, this is how I really feel about something. It is possible that for some of you, this could represent some form of healing in a relationship. There could be a moment where you really do talk something out and maybe you find a resolution for it. Because it's opposite the Fool card, something about your relationship this week will either change or it will break. There's no in between here, I'm sorry to say, because of the cards that are present. So it's kind of like you're at this place now, a lot of you, not all of you, but a lot of you, with a relationship where it's like it either improves or it goes away, right? It can't be in between. I won't have that experience anymore. It's like you're really setting a very firm boundary so that you can effectively start to enjoy life in a way that feels right to you. There's a feeling here where it's like maybe things have not been good for a while, and now you're kind of saying, okay, you know what? I need to make the final call. I need to make the final decision. And there's an admittance of a vulnerability here. Maybe you saying to a partner, you know, look, I'm not happy and I haven't been happy for a long time. There's something here about breaking away from a shackle, but through vulnerability, not brute force. And for those of you that are single, I like this for you meeting somebody, but it's like they meet you and you're like, look, I'm a work in progress. I'm a fucking mess. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. This is what's on offer, right? Me and all of my scars and all of my history and all the rest of it. It's not like you're turning up to your first date with, like, you know, receipts from your therapist. But at the same time, with this 9 of Wands, it's like there's something in your life that you're experiencing right now that you're not shying away from. It's like, this is me and this is all of me. And you will either take that or not take it. And it doesn't matter which, right? It really doesn't matter which, because I'm already perfect, whole and complete in and of myself. But if you are, you know, if we're embarking on this, I want you to know all of who I am straight up front, so that there's no surprises or hidden gems down the line. And I think this is actually a good thing. I think this is, you know, there's a lot of real sort of self-honesty here, but there's a lot of interpersonal honesty as well. And then when it comes to your finances, you've got the death card. So there's a final call, a final decision when it comes to money, right? Look at this as well, 8, 9, 10. Right, so there's a final call on a relationship, especially where it comes to relationships where there are financial commitments and connections. This could be, and it's the Ten of Swords, right? So this could be the release of a debt, the ending of a debt, the forgiving of a debt. That's also possible. If you are looking for funding or financing of some sort, this might not be the news that you're looking for. I really hope I'm wrong on that front. I will say, because it's the Ten of Swords and it's right next to the Fool card, whatever comes to an end, you will be able to pick up elsewhere. So it's like whatever, like let's say you go for a bank loan and Mercury's retrograde, so I would avoid at this, at this moment in time, if you can. But yeah, what kind of sort of strikes me with this is it's almost like there's a part of you that can kind of look at this and say, okay, maybe they say no, but you look elsewhere and they will say yes. If you're willing to shop around, you will get whatever it is that you need or whatever it is that you require. All right. So don't hold to there's only one place and one way that this can happen for me when actually there are more, but you will need to be a bit more dynamic about making it happen. For those of you, when it comes to your physical health and vitality, with this set of cards, all of the ones that are here, this is chiropractor, osteopath, acupuncturist. Go and get yourself some healing, right? Even if you're listening to this and you're thinking, Raph, I feel fine. Get your ass to the healer, all right? Just go. I'm not a doctor, can't give you medical advice. I'm not saying there's anything, wrong. What I am saying is this would be a preemptive treatment, right? You get this done now. You don't meet whatever the possibility is later on down the line. And then finally, when it comes to your home and environment, this is likely to be stuff that has to happen in the house, right? So this could be some kind of renovation work that needs to happen. Because we're in a Mercury retrograde, I would wager that this might be something that's already been a problem or an issue for you. And with the Eight of Wands, it's kind of like trying to hammer down all of the details, like when you can be home, when the person can come, whether the work that they do actually takes. Like there's a lot of toing and froing with this, I'm afraid. But look, right, ride it out. The Mercury retrograde, as I'm filming this, and obviously by the time this week is over, you'll only have just under a week left of it. All right, so just navigate as best you can. With that said, I also forgot to mention as well, on the 18th of April, I will be opening the doors to enrollment of my tarot course once more. This is the last time this year that I'm going to teach this course because I've got a whole other bunch of wonderful things that I want to bring you that I'm really excited about. And I will say, when it comes to that, you got bonus material, weekly tarot, like weekly interactive classes. They're like 3 hours a piece. You get bonus content, you get PDFs pouring out of your ears, live client practice, live client demos, all kinds of good stuff. So it opens on the 18th. It will shut on the 30th promptly, right? So if you want to get a space, make sure that you keep your eyes peeled. You're going to see it all over my socials. And the reason being is because I only take 20 students at a time. I like to keep the group small so that I can really give you individual attention. All right. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a good week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.